coming down the highway, and Lynn says, "You see that sign back there that said Bridal Cave?" And I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "Can we go to it?" And I said, "No, that's like 5 miles off of the beaten path, you know. They probably won't let us down. There's probably a big tourist thing. You know, they won't want horses down there." And so we ride a little bit further, and at first was Lake of the Ozarks, then it was the Bridal Cave. And so we get a little bit further down the road, and I look over to the left, and there's this great big pasture with a whiteboard fence around it. And we ride past it, and the Lord turned me around. And he made a U-turn, and Lynn said, "You going back?" I said, "Yeah, we're going to go talk to those people, see if we can spend the night in their barn." So we turned around and went back, and we go up the driveway with two horses saddled, and 6 horses all together. And a man comes out of the house, and hear the screen door pop, big pretty place, and he comes walking out, and he says, "What are y'all doing?" So we told him. Tears started coming out of his eyes. Later he said, "Yeah, you all come on." So later that evening, he told Lynn, he said, "You know what?" He said, "They're rooted in the Word of God." Well, he said he had prayed that the Lord would send him somebody that would strengthen his faith that morning. And he said, "Here I am standing at the kitchen sink thinking about that prayer, and I look up and there's 2 riders on horses in my driveway." So that evening, we're thinking, he said, "Well, we'll put you up for the night, put your horses up." I said, "Well, we'll just throw the bedroll out there at the barn if that's okay." We ate supper. We get done eating supper, and he says, "Y'all grab whatever you need, because we're going to take you down to our cabin." And it was a lake house on the Lake of the Ozarks. Well, we get down there, and it's dark. We get up the next morning, and I get up early like I always do. And I go outside, and I walk down to the water, and it's really foggy, and you can't see 20, 30 feet. And I was sitting by the water praying. And the fog began to lift, and I looked up, and right across the lake, I could see Bridal Cave in great big letters. It was about 200 yards. It was a real narrow place in the lake. We were right across the lake from the Bridal Cave.
He gets up in the middle of the night, 5:30, and he says, Lynn, you got to get up. You got to see this. And I said, "No, just take a picture, baby. Just take a picture." And he goes, "All right." So he went and took a picture. Then he jumped on the bed again and said, "You've got to see this picture." And so I looked, and it was Bridal Cave.
Not only did she get to go camp by the Ozark River, or by the Ozark Lake, but she was right across the wake from the Bridal Cave, and it faced right toward us.
Oh, that's cool.
So she got to see it. And then
that's cool.
2 days later, they insisted, just like you guys, "Oh, you got to stay and visit with us." So
But he will give you the desires of your heart. That's
Amen.
the story.